and Brunch. I am style expert Liliana Vasquez, and I just spoke at We All Grow here in Long Beach. I am so excited for you to check out our incredible panel. There's such good tips, such amazing motivation, so definitely click and watch from start to finish. I'm watching. And the way I got to the Today Show was a very traditional route. I never thought that I deserved to be on the Today Show in the beginning. I wanted to put in the work. I wanted to kind of hone my skills as a style expert, because even though you have a massive following on social media, broadcast is a completely different animal, and you are playing at very high stakes when you're on the Today Show. It's a national hit. It's all professionals, and you have to show up, and you can account for this. It's an intense environment. The first day I did my first segment, I thought I was going to throw up everywhere because I was so nervous. And this is coming from someone that had already been on NBC 10 on a local affiliate for 2 years. So what I did is I picked up the phone and called every local TV station within 90 miles of where I lived at the time, which was Philadelphia. So Baltimore, Washington, New Jersey, every local affiliate that I could call and get my face on, I did, so I could build a reel and I could build a comfort level. And finally, when I got to a place that I thought I could handle the level and the pressure of the Today Show, I started sending emails, and then no one responded. But they did, finally. And they did to a pitch that I thought was kind of, I'm going to say basic. It was I think it was gear, like cool ways to dress for the rain. So like umbrellas, rain boots, stuff that I had probably wouldn't write on my blog, but I was like, you know what? It's really valuable because it's got so many touch points. You can do it for kids, you can do it for moms, you can do it for accessories, you can do it for fashion. And that was the pitch that got me on the air. And I think once you get the opportunity to be there, you really have to not just be a guest. You have to be a guest, you have to be a researcher, you have to be a writer, you have to be a producer, and you have to be willing to wear as many hats as possible, because the easier that you make the life of a producer, the more they will love you. And you have to show them that you are willing to work harder and stronger than anybody else that's willing to do it, because everybody in this room would want that opportunity. So you just have to show up and you have to deliver. And that's how I got on the show. And I think finally, and after many years of struggle, and I tell this story all the time, you know, people have a definition or an idea of what it means to be Latina or what it means to be Latino, and we come in all different shapes, colors, sizes, everything. And when I first started at NBC, you know, I tell this story because somebody was looking for a diversity type hire, and I put my name in the bucket. Why not, right? I'm diverse. And when I met with someone, they said that I wasn't Latina looking enough. Now, at the time, I might have been blonde, okay? It was bad blonde. Do not look up the photos on Google. I will not be your friend if you look them up. But I was blonde at the time, and I am half Puerto Rican and half Mexican. I don't know how you get more Latina than that, okay? And I think it's because I didn't fit a stereotype at the time. They weren't looking for me. And what I've seen in the last 5 years, or even in the last 3 years, is that there's an awareness that we are also different, but that we represent such a powerful consumer, and we represent such a powerful viewer, and so many opportunities are coming my way. And now at NBC, so it's amazing to have gone from you're not Latina enough to being offered now an opportunity to do segments on the Today Show and then do a counterpart segment on Un Nuevo Dia on Telemundo. So clearly, to that person who thought I wasn't Latina enough, sí soy. Gracias. Thanks so much. So yes, own it. It's empowering, and I'm telling you, it is such an important thing to value in yourself and have everyone else around you value it in you. So put it out there, be proud of it at all times.
Even behind the scenes, it's, you know, I grew up in Northern California, so in a very Hispanic community, and, you know, going around town, no one had to question my ethnicity, my diversity. But coming to New York, it's like I tell people in the office, I'm Hispanic, I'm Latina, and they're like, no, you're not. And I'm like, did you see my first name, my last name? You know, and I often have to convince people in the office of my background, and it's a challenge. It's a challenge at times.
Cannot take these things personally. I'll give you an example right now. I was going to do a fashion hit about the Oscars live from LA for the Today Show on Monday. On Tuesday or Wednesday, it got canceled. So I couldn't take it personally. I was about to cry, but I was like, get your shit together. It's not that bad. It's gonna be fine. But that happens all the time because you have to remember they work on live television. So things are changing every day. Guests are being rebooked and moved around. Somebody got sick. You know, breaking news. We're in an election cycle right now. Things are going to change all the time. So you can't take it personally. All you can say is, no problem. Let me know when I can come back on. And by the way, do not be afraid. Yes, and thank you. And don't be afraid of the follow-up email. I can tell you this. These producers are so busy. Alicia is like a power woman. She is producing like 18 segments every day across so many different hours, booking out, working on specials. So don't be afraid to follow up with these producers. If you get a yes, make sure you turn that yes into like 10 other yeses, but you really do have to be patient with them. And in the follow-up, why not pitch another idea? Since you already got your first idea in and you have one yes, why not turn one yes into 2 yeses and show them that even though you're not technically working on a segment for them at that very moment, you're always thinking about them, you're always brainstorming. If something's hitting for you on social media or if something is working for you personally, like the idea that you gave, then share that and send a little video. I know one thing I love, I get pitched a ton from PR companies now because I do so much on the Today Show. It helps so much to have backup and research. I am a data person. I love to see facts and figures and why something is working. So if you have something that is just blowing up on your social media or something that you put out that's really getting traction amongst your fans and your followers and your viewers, share that information with these producers because they don't have their eyes on every single thing. They can't. But you can be their eyes and you can be really valuable to them and a resource to them in that way. So make the most of the relationships. If you do get booked, whether it's the Today Show or whether it's the local affiliate in your town, really work for that person as hard as you can, even though you're not getting paid, because then they know that you're willing to do the work.
Well, and also to that point is you with your with the digital platforms that you're on, you have the content. That's what we're looking for. That's what we want. So whatever you have going on, let me know what you have going on, because 9 times out of 10 I'm going to say, oh, that's terrific. I want to have that as part of our show. So even if you did something a year ago, 8 months ago, and you still think is alive and fresh, bring that to our attention, because we're always working on beautiful evergreen stories.
Whenever you're going on a TV show, I know I always disclose, hey, just so you know, these are the partners that I work with on the LV Guide, or these are the partners I work with personally as Liliana Vasquez. And it's my responsibility as a guest or as an expert to disclose that to a producer and to a television station, because anything that you're working on, now not every station is the same. So some stations will say, no problem, we just have to announce that you are a paid spokesperson for this brand. So don't be afraid to disclose, because disclosing doesn't mean no. Every station and every news organization will have a different set of rules that apply to them. But you have to be honest in this business. And I see it happening all the time. That's the one thing I always tell style experts, or when I'm meeting with girls in college that are like, oh, I want to be an influencer, I want to be a blogger, and I want to do broadcast. That's amazing. And I think leverage all of your relationships. Be a content creator, be a businesswoman, and make sure that you're creating content on your website that's going to get you paid, because we're all here to get paid, right? Everybody's got to pay their rent every month. But at the same time, there is no gray area for me. You have to disclose any partnership or any monetary gain that you're making from a brand that you work for, and then let the producers make that decision. I promise in this situation, honesty is always the best policy. I know the Today Show takes it very seriously. I know NBC takes it very seriously, and I'm sure many other stations do as well.
Super serious. Yes, we do.